Hello, it's Ryan here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're going to be doing our March TBR videos. So I'm going to have four things from previous month that I had to push over. I'm going to have two novels and then a bunch of manga. And feel free to watch whatever section you're interested in or not watch the video at all. It's up to you guys. I don't really mind either way. So yeah, starting off with the stuff that I'm carrying over from last month. We have Second Chance Swordsman, which is a novel. I did get around to 50% of this book last month, so I will hopefully power through and finish the book this month. I don't know, I just got out of the habit of reading novels, and it's hard to get back into it because, well, they're just like very different from manga. They move at a different pace, and sometimes it's hard to get back into that kind of style, right? So yeah, I also have Reborn as a Hero, Asher Merrick. This one was sent to me, and I said I was going to read it last month, but I didn't, so I'm going to read it this month. I also have to finish reading Weird World, which is a comic book, and I've read 2 of the 5 stories in here, and I think that's about halfway through the book because a lot of the pages at the back are actually more like just explanations about things, and not necessarily like book content, if that makes sense. And then I have the Dragon Ball Piccolo Saga, which is the last saga of the original Dragon Ball series, or part 1 of the Dragon Ball series, because in Japan I think they're not separate. It's a US only thing. That's cool, but it kind of doesn't fit the theme, but it kind of does, because I'm pretty sure the Piccolo Saga is the last portion of Dragon Ball that is properly like a martial arts series and not like a superhero series, because, you know, basically Z is all just they're just all superheroes, right? So I think this is technically the last bit of the story that is kind of based around martial artists doing martial arts against each other, which is pretty cool. And I don't remember how many chapters it is, but the saga is split into a few different pieces, and so each piece is not many chapters. I think the longest one was like 15, so that'll be cool, and it'll be easy to read. Then moving on to the actual novels that I have planned for this month. First I have Akahoshi Sci-Fi Book Club #1. This was sent to me by Antonio Blanco, and I don't really like this cover, but I am interested in what it's about. So it's kind of a Haruhi Suzumiya type thing that turns into a harem lit kind of story. Apparently this is a dude that moves to high school, to a high school in Japan, and he starts a book club, and he meets these girls, and then he realizes that these girls are actually kind of like angels and demons. So it kind of is a little bit like Haruhi Suzumiya, a little bit like High School DxD, and, you know, stuff like that. And this is technically supposed to be a harem-lit novel, but it is more or less an OELN as well. So yeah, there you go. That's book 1 in the Akahoshi Sci-Fi Book Club. And then we have Soul Leveling #7, and this is because I was very excited by the end of Volume 5, and so I wanted to continue reading it. And I also really like this purple color on the cover. It's really nice. It's quite different from all the other ones, so I'm curious to see how it looks next to them, because I haven't put it up to them and seen. So there you go. Also, there's this lion on it, which is pretty cool. I don't know what that relates to, because usually the thing on here relates to the story, and I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of lions happening. But if I remember correctly, the main plot point was giants over Japan. So I'm curious to see how that relates to that. So yeah, there you go. That's Solo Leveling. Now moving on to manga. So I have some digital manga first. I want to read the rest of the volumes of Blue Lock that I have. So I have volumes 4 through 10. I got these in the Humble Bundle sometime in December. And so that should be 2 or 3 more arcs that I can cover. The second half of the third arc, and then arc 4, and I think arc 5 as well. And I'll also end up reviewing the anime, because I did stop watching it once I got caught up to how far I got in the manga. So that's kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And then we have Haikyuu. I'm going to look at the Tokyo Expedition arc, which is chapter 72 to 96, which is, what's that, 24 chapters? Yeah, which should be a pretty easy read. I have volume 1 of Ace of Diamond. I bought this on Bookwalker a long time ago. There was a sale. I don't remember what for, and I picked it up. Also got Harukana Receive #1. This is a beach volleyball series with the players being girls, which is interesting. And then we move on to the physical stuff. So to finish off the sports kind of oriented month that I mostly tried to plan out here, we have The Boxer #1. And I think #2 is coming out soon. So if I like it, I'll pick up the next one. And this is a manhwa, but you know, there's really not that much of a difference between manga and manhwa. So there you go. It's pretty cool. It's in color. And I'm pretty excited about this. You can also read it for free on Webtoon if you're interested, I think. So, you know, you can read it there if you're not interested in buying a physical volume. Everything's free on Webtoon, or more or less free. I don't remember exactly, but I think most things are free. And then moving on to non-sports related stuff, we have Green Blood #1. I bought this last month, and since I like Masumi Kakisaki, I wanted to read this as soon as possible. So there we go. This is Green Blood. This is a Western story with Masumi Kakisaki's awesome artwork. Yeah, I don't know what it's about. I think it's about some like people that end up in a battle in New York and then have to leave, and so they end up going through you know, through some situations where they end up in the Wild West, and I find that to be pretty interesting. Masumi Kakisaki is pretty good at doing like movie style plot lines, so that'll be pretty cool. Then we have Grass Ross #2. Again, this is not a sports manga, but since I picked it up and I really like the series, I wanted to continue reading it. And also just because I don't want to pile up a bunch of stuff in my TBR pile, because it's getting really full there with a bunch of Masho and Spy Family and stuff like that. So yeah, here we go. That's Grass Ross #2. We have Komi Komi Can't Communicate #23. I love this cover, but I also want to know what happens because Manbagi and Komi actually started kind of having stress in their relationship and their friendship due to the fact that they both like Tadano, and I was really curious to see where that went. Then we have Go-Go Loser Ranger #3. Hopefully this finally finishes up an arc so I can do a review for this story. But I'm pretty excited about this one. Basically, it's like an infiltration mission where Fighter D, I think was his name, this guy back here, manages to impersonate this unaffiliated ranger, and he joins their academy, and he's currently trying to get some intel on them, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. So there you go. That's Go-Go Loser Ranger #3. And then we have Chain Soldier #3. This one has a tournament arc of sorts where the 6th division, no, the 7th division, which is the squad the main characters are from, have to battle the 6th division, and there's some sisterly conflict here. And I don't know, I'm pretty interested in it, of course. Also just really like the ecchi aspects here, so I'm pretty excited about getting around to reading this. And finally, to close out the situation here, we have Drifting Dragons #12. I'm very curious to see what happens in this one because if I remember correctly, at the end of 11, Vanabelle had to decide whether she was going to become queen of this place she's from or she was going to go back to draking with her friends on the Quinzaza. So I'm curious to see what happens there, and I'm very, very excited to get around to it. Now, it seems like a lot of easy reading. There's not that much going on here this month, but I think that's good. And honestly, the novels are going to take me quite a while to read, even though they're relatively easy reads. Like I said, I got out of practice. I used to be able to read novels very easily and very voraciously. I was a very voracious reader, but since I transitioned into reading mostly manga, it's hard to go back because the pace at which manga moves is just so much faster. And there's a lot more satisfying elements to it where you finish a manga volume a lot quicker than you would finish any type of novel, right? So it's going to be kind of a slow start there, but hopefully I can get back in the swing of things and read all of the novels that I have here this month quickly. Because usually it just takes a lot of effort for me to get started and then to maintain my attention on that novel, unless it's like a very specific case, like a Edgar Rice Burroughs novel or Solo Leveling or something like that. So yeah, that's really all I have to say to you guys today for the TBR video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys are reading this month or what you're planning to read sometime this month. And Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.